The Swedish Prime Minister's traditional lake trip sets up an awkward photo call ahead of an even more awkward meeting. David Cameron, clinging on at the back, has to show he's part of the team. The Dutch, Swedish and German leaders are his potential reformist allies in the EU. But he's also saying that if Britain doesn't get its way, it might disembark from the boat.
And if we can achieve reforms, if we can demonstrate openness, competitiveness, flexibility, less interference, reform, people that are capable of taking the European Union forward in that direction, that will be helpful. And obviously if the European Union doesn't go in that direction, that will be unhelpful.
There's been much argument over whether this man, Jean-Claude Juncker, should get the top job on the EU Commission. Angela Merkel's favoured candidate is rejected by Cameron, with a warning that a non-reformer and pro-federal state chief would lead to Britain's exit. But the German Chancellor says David Cameron has the wrong approach.
In Germany, we reach our decisions in a certain European spirit. This becomes clear in the work at the Council, otherwise we would never find a compromise. We cannot put aside the question of the European spirit because we are discussing people. It remains that way. Threats are not a part of it. That is not part of our strategy.
David Cameron really set himself apart from the other leaders. When talking about reform, he was the only person to bring up the abuse of freedom of movement. He was the only person to say that voters had sent out a message during the European election. And he was the only person as well to emphasise the need for the right person to do the top job.
That comes to a decision that United Kingdom stays inside the European Union. I think Angela Merkel said the obvious, that pragmatic politicians in a group of 28 democratic countries with 28 elected leaders need to listen to each other and need to find a way forward together. And that's actually what we have been discussing here as well.
A day at the lake hasn't settled the waters. Cameron has set himself his first litmus test as to whether his reform agenda will get a smooth ride in Europe. Jason Farrell, Sky News.